Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream Park and welcome to Gulfstream today. And we have a very interesting day today because, Brian, we are back on the turf and the turf is firm. Of course, we got a fast main track and the all-weather Tapeta. But the interesting thing is we're already up to 100,000 in guesstimate in the Rainbow Six.
Rainbow builds quickly around here, so that'll kick off in race number 4. Ronnie's got that ticket. You can see that carryover approaching $40,000. Should be a pretty big pool, and yeah, if it's if we get through the weekend and nobody hits it all, these are great times to jump in now and try to take a stab at it. It'll get very, very large by the end of the weekend, but you got 100 to go after today, give or take.
I'm sorry, Brian. Yeah, 100 to go after, and then, like Brian said, good time to bet it. And you know what? What a great way to start the day. We're going to be on the turf at a mile maiden claimers, and we got a full field of 12, and Brian's got an early pick 5 ticket that he wants to show you.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it now. It's about as big as I'm going to play, a $54 ticket. I've got the single in race number 2, and that is my best bet of the day. And it could be a bold one down in the valley. We'll see there. Carlos David on a little bit of a drop. In race number 3, I've got the 6 on top, English Painter. I lost my top pick in there. In race number 4, we've got the 5 on top, Taparino. And in race number 5, another spread there. And I'll go to the 5, Val's Gal. That's my long shot, Ron, in there. 12-1 on the morning line for Aubrey Mirage.
Well, we agree on a lot of different stuff there.
Okay.
So except that Val's Gal. I'm going to go back and check that one. Getting to this first race, Brian, we'll start it off with the horse that's currently the 5-2 favorite. And I just think this horse, with the better post this afternoon after that performance last time out for Amador Sanchez, turning back a little bit in distance. And if you look through the past performances, what's on paper is that this horse is supposed to win.
Yeah, this horse drew into the race last time, and we remember they say kind of warning everybody, hey, this horse is in, this is the horse to beat. And he got blasted somehow. Intolerable ran huge. Now, that kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth at 90 cents of the dollar. But then you look, and he was almost over 4 lengths clear of Parakeet, who's back today. Clearly the one to beat. I didn't love him, didn't necessarily trust him, but first shot fired. The race goes through him.
Yeah, I want to hear about the number 5 that you have on top, currently 11-1, and there's Lana Stray. This one from first-time Angel Kios, the trainer.
Yeah, so he's got that big figure at Tampa back on April 19th, and you kind of wonder, is he going to come across the state in the big leagues? Is he going to deliver? And nobody really believed it. It was 17-1 last time. Well, he was in for a quarter last time, and I thought he ran okay, Ron. He was a 4th that he showed he could play over here. Now he drops a little bit. I'm not sure how much of a difference there is from 16 to a quarter. They're all kind of sort of the same horses, but he's going to be a square price, and he's really not that far off any of these horses on paper. He's got some speed as well, and with the rails out at 66 feet, I think you need that. Take a little shot, that's all.
The figuring out the difference between Tampa and here, if you can do that, you'd be very rich because it's very hard to do that. Now, we got a video we want to show of Chromotion and Ocala Rocket, who I have in second, you have in third.
Yeah, so Chromotion runs a way better race, and he's not going to be favored over Ocala Rocket. Look at him. He gets forced now into making first run. Look at these fractions, 22-4, 45-3, just hellacious fractions for this kind of group here. And Chromotion's got to go up there and make first run, where Ocala Rocket is just sitting back there and kind of licking his chops. And for him not even to be able to go by, Ryan, we were off to claim that day for Victor Barboza, and Victor is so good, he didn't get an inch of improvement out of this horse. I don't know. I'm a little leery of Ocala Rocket today. The post is not ideal either. And a little further down on my list.
Yeah, getting back to Chromotion, ran the better race there, but this horse finds a way to lose.
I couldn't agree with you more.
But I want to show you a stat on Ocala Rocket that I found, and we'll see what the connections are to the trainer here. So it's Victor Barboza Jr. This is second off the layup on the turf over the past 5 years. He's 4 for 30, 13%, 50% in the money. I actually thought it would be less than 13% because it's not really a turf training guy.
No, but it's a guy that wins at about 30% with everything he does, and that's not very flattering. And these are the kind, we talk about this a lot. These are the type of tries, we show a stat with Safi sometimes where he's not ideal. that's when you got to try to beat these guys because they're such high percentage. You never get square prices. You're not going to get it today. Horses, maybe you fade a little bit.
You know, we got something else going on in race number 1 starting really early today, and that's the Tropical Turf Pick 3. We're using the first race, and Samantha put a ticket together. Let's check it out. And she's single in promotion. I was just saying the horse finds a way to lose. But, hey, that's beauty of horse racing. In race number 5, she went 3 deep in there. I think she's got your 5 in there.
She does.
Yeah, she got your 5 Val's girl. And in race number 9, you know, I got a long shot in there, but 3 and the 10. Boy. Whoa. 30 to 1. This thing is going to pay a lot. $18. If this comes in, you'll be able to get a new car in that parking lot for sure. It's a good one. So that's great. And it's only an $18 ticket, and it's only $3 and low takeout, right?
Yeah, 15% takeout. So that's the beauty of this bet, and it routinely pays very handsomely over the parlay.
Well, let's flip the page, go to race number 2, and this one is 7 furlongs. It's on the fast main track, and these are claimers. And this one, I just thought, you know, for 3-year-olds and up, which never won 2 races. And, you know, we were talking about the horse stack. You actually have single. We both seem to find, and I mentioned just before, really looks good. We got a ticket here for the...
No, we'll run it back. It's the same as my early pick 4. We'll run it back. It's a lot cheaper, and I'll tweet it out on Twitter as well.
Well, Down in the Valley, I thought was the one to beat too.
So here's the thing, okay? Down in the Valley could be 3 to 5. The question is, are they going to bet Papiette? We don't know. This is we'll talk about him in a second, but if nothing else, we know Down in the Valley is in good enough form. A little bit of a class drop as well, and you get Carlos David and Drayden Van Dyke.
Yeah, I just thought it was totally the one to beat. But talking about that Papete, let's take a look at that video before we go on with the rest of the stuff in this race.
So I made this horse favored on the morning line. Now, we haven't seen him since August of last year. You're going to have to look hard to see him here, too, actually. This is Papiette for Antonio Sano, and this is a horse... that was going places, Ron. I think this is a good MSW win, okay, in August of his 2-year-old season. It was impressive. It was on the heels of a next second on debut. He's going to win easily in the slop here. And now all of a sudden he stamps himself in the middle of the summer as a nice 2-year-old here at Gulfstream Park. And that's the positive. Now we flip the coin and you say, where have we been? Okay, because now it is... 363 days later that he's coming back. And as we talked about just off the air, on June 2nd, he was entered in a handicap. On June 8th, he was entered in an optional claimer. Scratch. On August 2nd, here he is for $8,000. I don't know if they're going to bet him. I don't know. That's why I said he could be 3 to 5.
He looks like he's being bet in the doubles.
Yeah.
You know, so you would think that they are. And you know, he's flattered by what you see on paper, but $8,000 certainly red flag going up. The other horse that, well, let's talk about the 5 horse that you're using here, Dollar Liberty, before we flip the page, and I'll talk about my 3.
Well, you know what's interesting? He's been routing on the Tapeta, okay? And his main track form is no great shakes. But he gets a MECL. He's probably going to put him in the race and put him more speed. It's a tough group to trust, too. That's all.
You know, Safi Joseph Jr.'s got the 3 Starship Mocha. You know how good he is first off the claim, 27%. You know, what do you get here? He jumped in, he grabbed this horse at a race where it wasn't very good.
No, this horse is 30 to 1 with anybody other than Safi.
Yeah.
Jose D'Angelo had this horse now for the last little bit, too, and he was dreadful. And now he gets claimed out of a race where he beat 2 home, beaten 13 lengths, hasn't worked for the barn since. Edgard's here, that's great, but he really should be 10 to 1. Maybe he's not going to be, but Safi's going to have to work some wonders to get this horse going again.
Well, we're going to go to race 3, and we're going to stretch it out around 2 turns at a mile and the 16th on the all-weather Tapeta. And these are claimers, and they're 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. We're going to scratch the number 5 horse in here, Spites, whatever that says there. It's hard to I put a line through it there. But the number 5 is scratched. Put it that way. I put a line right through the horse's name.
Spitzer Comente.
See, I couldn't read.
No, I got you. He actually is telling the truth.
I am telling the truth. Let's start it off with your 6 in here, and that is English Painter, one of the horses I used a little further down. Getting a drop today.
Yeah, I scratch into him. I did have the 5 Spitzer Percomente on top. I scratch into this horse. The drop is a big one in half from 25. Victor Barboza has been known to kind of get form reversals out of these kinds of horses. You look at the group last last time was a much better one than the one he's facing today, and it's the 5 coming out is a big scratch.
You look down the paper here, and who's going better than Rohan Crichton? You look at the 3 Guchko Bra. You look at that race on July 6th. Just looks like a horse that's going to run well here. I know people are going to look back at the Vord he claimed 2 starts back, but he comes back and runs well.
No, he did, and it was Rohan took the waiver last time too, so I didn't want to lose him. My only little irritation is at 90 cents on the dollar and 11 to 10, he couldn't win. He was ranked last time. I don't know what that was all about, and he steadied a little bit on the back stretch, and he was flat in the stretch. This is the type of group he's supposed to handle if he's the goods.
The horse that I kept going back to, and I'm glad you used on your ticket, we have the same super box around, was Ernesto. It just, on the drop, I just kept going back to this horse. I would not be shocked if this horse won.
He never wins.
No.
Ever. Never wins. I got 8 in a row. He's 3 for 37, but you're right. He keeps nibbling. He keeps running figures. He's been running against better.
Right.
Maybe he gets there today. I don't know. Jose Morelos is going to get aboard. New jockey. Maybe that triggers it for what have you. He's always kind of sort of right there, but he never delivers in the stretch.
And you're right about his figs. If you look down, he's got the figs to compete in there. So we'll see how he runs this afternoon. But I went with the 3. Brian went with the number 6 in there. Scratched the number 5. And we'll leave it at that. We'll take a short break. We'll be back for race 4 and my Rainbow 6 ticket.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron and Brian, resplendent in
I like that shirt.
Yeah, white. Yeah. We're resplendent in white today. We match. You're just joining us. Fast main track, firm turf course. We're back on the turf. That is right. And we do have the Rainbow 6 with a $100,000 guesstimate that will be in the pool today. And let's see what my ticket looks like. You knew it was going to be $43.20, but no singles today because race number 8, I believe it was, got just decimated with scratches. And, lost my best bet in there. So race 4, we'll talk about that horse in race in a moment. I got the same horse you got, Taparino, on top. Race number 5 is on the turf this afternoon. My top pick is the 7 Condora. We're going to show a video of that horse running. Race number 6, just 2 for me. I think the best bet for me in there is the number 6, Smart Spending. Race 7, 2 deep for me. I like Founders Day. I was surprised. I thought I was going to, this one was going to be a little bit of a price. I'm glad you made it the morning line favorite in there. And race number 8, that's the one we only got 4 horses in there. Iturian looks pretty darn tough in there to me. And in the nightcap, I got my long shot in there with Miss Holly, Nesta Castellares with Angel Marino, taking a little bit of a shot off that Tampa form.
Well, the horse has run well in the past.
Yeah.
Samantha's got her, I'm going to think it's her long shot.
Right.
She's got the 10 in there. TT pick 3 in there at 30 to 1 on the morning line. We'll see what we get there, but that's a good late sequence, to be sure.
Yeah, it would be nice. And 43.20 for me. And let's get to this race now. And we'll start. But you have the 5-2 on top, right?
I do, yeah.
We'll start with that, then we'll show that video of Go Charlie Go. Oh, no, that's a gelding. That's right.
Yeah, Go Charlie Go is a gelding, the 2 horse. It's kind of just sort of right in front of you there. Taparino drops a little bit, was an okay second behind a runoff winner last time. A little bit of a trouble at the start. I didn't think it really mattered all that much. Added blinkers, so we'll go second time blinkers. I like that angle. Jenna Antonucci's been going so good. Just might be kind of sort of his day, Ron. It looks like that kind of field.
Yeah, I mean, for all the reasons you mentioned, had it on top. I went to the inside with my second pick, and that's Blaze of Color, Georgina Baxter. You know, it's the drop. Maiden special weight, putting the blinkers on. Got to deal with the inside post. That could be a bit of a concern.
So, you know, I hemmed and hawed about making this horse the favorite or not, because these horses are tricky now. That comes out of the maiden special weight, as Ronnie said, biggest drop in racing, has a big figure in this field, okay, whether it's the Sheets or the Buyers. Also didn't beat a horse home dead last. So, with 17-1, Georgina's going to add the blinkers. Got a low percentage jockey aboard. I still think the 5 is the horse to beat, but I didn't want to get beat by this horse either, Ron.
You know, the real interesting horse to me is the horse you have in second and a half, third. And Come Dream With Me. Now, last time this horse was seen, it was on the Tapeta. It turned to be a really good race. Yeah. 3 starters came out to win, 3 winners out of 8 starters, and comes back with Lasix for Ronnie Spatz today.
Well, I like that L word, right? We get the Lasix today. Now, thing that bugs me a little bit, this horse has never even faced 3-year-olds, let alone older horses. Those were restricted 2-year-old races. Ronnie looks like he's got this horse training pretty good, though. You got the bullet on July 8th, the Lasix, you get the big-time jockey in Miguel Vasquez. This horse is not going to have to improve all that much off that form to play with this kind of group today.
Yeah, and Taparino, you wide a drop from 35 to 16, so I think you're using. We'll go to race number 5 today. We're back on the turf. The turf is firm, 5 furlongs. It's an allowance optional claimer, and this is a pretty good race for state-bred fillies and mares. And we did a couple of scratches. The 4, Free to Roam, and the 8, Shiza Ragin Cajun, and we also have a late pick 5 ticket from Samantha, I believe.
Take a look at that now, and she's out on assignment, as Ronnie likes to say. Today she's going to go 4 deep here. Her single is in race number 6, and that is the 8 Wicklow Gal, who I've got on top as well. And then she spreads a little bit in the 7th and the 8th, and we already talked about the 9th now. She's got that 30-1. That's Seeking by the Storm. I don't know if it's on top or not. She's also going to use Dialytic, who's going
10-1.
Yeah, it's going to be a price as well. The last race is very problematic if you can get by Bellwether, who'll be a short price for Safi, who she doesn't have to win.
No, that's why I went for my long shot in there with the 4, just looking for something. I thought that was the race to do it in. Getting back to this 5th race this afternoon, we have. You want to start it off with the video, or you want to go? Let's start.
We can show the video.
Yeah. Condora and the Dove Rules.
Yes, a couple things going on here now. This is a 3-year-old only race. Okay, Condora gets loose. The Dove Rules actually ran pretty well for Safi. She showed some signs of life. I like that because her form was very. Where is your form? That basically is what we can kindly say here. But what we didn't show you in this race is what happened near the start, because Trumpets for Joe Catanese, something wasn't right.
Yeah.
Trumpets is as fast as any horse early in a race, as maybe here.
Right.
Something didn't go right with her. And then what happened was it allowed Condora to get loose. And I know she did run fast. I don't want to beat her up too much. But the complexion of the race changed. There's other speed to run with her today. And again, she's facing older horses today, too. I don't see the same set of circumstances that parlayed her to a victory last time.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan at this time of the year of 3-year-olds against 4-year-olds if they've been running long. But, yeah, you know what? I just had to go with this horse because not only the form of the last race where you're saying something happened, but look to back. She wins on the Tapeta sprint. She's run. She broke a maiden by 9 lengths. It shows she's versatile and she's in great form, so put her on top. You did go with the number 5. This was your long shot. You said Val's Gal, right?
So, these connections are crafty. Aubrey Mirage. I don't know if they're going to bet this horse. This horse was 63-1 last time. Sometimes you look up at these horses and they're 8-5 for these guys. You don't know. But that was an open optional claimer last time. Now we're dipping in with Florida breds. It's a huge, huge drop. She didn't do a lot of running. She kind of sort of ran in place. I think it kind of fits with this group run. I'm hoping I'm a little ahead of the curve here. I'm hoping we get a price because she really does need to be a square price.
And, we showed the video with the Dove Rules. Going to break from a real second consecutive start. You're getting another leading rider, Edgar Zayas, so lots to like there. That was a logical one to use on your ticket. So race number 5 is where that late pick crowd is going to start. Now we'll go to race number 6 today, and it's stretching out around 2 turns. We're heading back to to the Topita. These are claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. Scratch the one Wick of Wisdom in here. And you went with the 8 horse in here?
Yeah, late pick 4 as well.
Oh, late pick 4, that's right. So let's see that, and then we'll go on from there.
Take a look at that. I've got a 3x3 early on in race number 7. The top pick is the 5, and that is Chloe's Toy. There's the single in race number 8, Achurian, who was going to be tough anyway, but now with Great Venezuela coming out, she is 1-5 in there. And then in race number 9, like I said, I'm not picking Bellwether. She's probably going to win. That's fine. But I'm going to try to pop this field with Plankton, the 6 horse. We're all going all the way outside the box in the finale. And I like it because I think I can speak for you, Ron, that Bellwether is just not enticing at a short price.
Exactly. And, first thing I said, they're going to try and beat this horse. That was a hard thing. And, Samantha took some big shots, So we'll see how that plays out. But getting back to this race number 6, my top pick in here is Smart Spending. And I think we have a video you want to show before we talk about your 8 Wicklow gal.
Yeah, we lost some videos today, unfortunately, but Smart Spending is not one of those ones, and this is a good effort. I know she got set up, that's fine, but it's Victor Barboza, and there's not really much to show here other than this is just an absolute tour de force. A couple of these horses actually, she fled the scene in Crystal Coast. Get a gauge on this race today because they're in on Sunday as 2 heavy favorites. I think 8-5 and 9-5 or so, maybe 7-5 and 8-9. But Smart Spending in an absolute gallop here, and I don't know, Victor's playing a little poker here. You want to claim me? This was 12-5 last time. You want to claim me for 10? You go right ahead. But I'm the horse to beat, and I'm supposed to win this race. And you can grab her for 10 if you want, but she's front and center in here. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
And you are going to try and beat her with the number 8 horse in here, and that is Wicklow Girl, who's getting that drop. You go 2 starts back, wins at this level. They tried something a little different last time. Can't really believe this horse ran that bad.
She's got that, look at her form. She's got that Jekyll and Hyde to her, right? Terrible last time, as Ronnie said, albeit against a much better group, and they went crazy. She got contested early on. The splits don't really show it, but she was getting nagged the entire way. The win 2 back, dreadful 3 back, then a good effort. I don't know. Is she coming back around today? I think she's a controlling speed in here.
Yeah, we'll see. You make a good point with her, so she bounced back, and you get Nemasil Jaramillo, certainly been riding in fantastic form. Then you got Queen Daymar, Victor Barboza Jr. What has this horse done? Just reeled off 2 consecutive victories in a row, and did it coming off the pace. So if there's some pace in front of this horse, could be very dangerous, despite the jump up in competition.
The other Victor Barboza, we talk about that angle a lot, but it is a dangerous one, and people sometimes overlook it. She's not as good as her stablemate, at least on paper. But as Ronnie said, she's coming in off 2 really dominant wins.
Yeah, and that was going long on the Topita. And boy, some horses just really, like that. So we'll flip the page, and you know what? We'll stay on the Topita, but we'll sprint in race number 7. Starter optional claimers for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We did have some scratches in here, and that was the 2, the 6, and the number 8 horse in this race. So we're dealing with a 5-horse field here.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I kept my top 2 picks. Now, Chloe's Toy I always did have on top. I think this is a drop here. Steve Badu has really, I'm going to say quietly, I guess, has really done a good job. I like the race she's coming out of. She won last time. I like her post round, too. She's outside all the other speed, but she can lay close, too.
I wish there wasn't the scratches here, but you'll see misprint tomorrow. But, Founders Day kept going back and forth. Comes out of that good race. Talking Tipsy came back to win on Friday, won at 62,500. I just kept going back to this horse. First off the claim by Jose D'Angelo. Didn't know really what to make of it.
Tough post, right?
Yeah.
And look at her last time. She breaks dead last from the rail last time. Now, Edwin Gonzalez, I really feel like we've talked about this since day one of the Topita. Edwin rides as good as anybody. I know it's a scratch down field here. He's still going to have to work something out from down there. But it's Jose off the claim. He bumps her to a race that this is why I think this is why one of the reasons why Jose's so good. This is a condition book race. Claims her for a quarter. She's in for 20. The race he claims her out of, so much better than this group, Ron.
And St. Pat's Day, you want horses that are taking a huge drop, been trying a lot tougher for a long, long time. You have to go all the way back to find some good races when it was at this level, basically.
Yeah, but boy, I mean, the one thing I will say about her, and I like this when you're dealing with droppers, I know she's got the layoff, which is a little bit of a problem. She never lost her speed. So I think that's a big positive.
Good point, yeah.
You know, she's been getting beat up. I get that, but she's still always showing that wild, wild speed that she has.
Well, we'll go to race number 8. The 5.5 furlongs on the Torpedo Allowance optional claimer. Don't know what happened here, but we do have some scratches. Dot is coming back, I know that. The 1 is scratched, the 2, the 5, and the number 8. We're dealing with a 4-horse field, and you made a great, Etrurium was the one to beat before that, now really the one to beat.
Yeah, I mean, with Great Venezuela coming out of this race, who was, she was 4 for 5 on the Tapeta. Etrurium, I know we faced winners for the first time, but man, what an effort last time for Joe Orsino. Off the break, trying the Tapeta. Good to see Joe with horses for the Hildebrands as well, who have, Bouchero on the Tapeta. We know how prolific he is as well. She's lays over this field.
Right, yeah. Great Venezuela is one of my favorite horses.
Sure.
So, and then you got the 3, Bedrock Birdie, that, maybe this horse clunks up and grabs a share. You go 2 back, was good enough to grab second against those allowance, to run a super freaky girl and all that. So why not grab a share? There's not much else to say in here with the 4-horse field.
No, I mean, literally, Etrurium, it might be 1-9 in this race.
Wow. So let's go to the fun last race. I think there's 12 in the field, and I think we picked 9 different horses, it seems like.
I'm
in
thinking
here.
so.
Mile in the 16th in the turf. Claimers, fillies and bears, and 3-year-olds and up. You've seen this happens 1,000 times. I agree with you 100% that Bellwether's the one to beat. Just simple as that? No. So we all went different ways in here, and let's start it off with your 6 of Plankton that you have a replay you want to show.
Yeah, I'm going to show you her debut at 31-1 with Elijah Greenidge on. We wish him the best on a speedy recovery. 31-1, Ron, not 6-5. 31-1, but watch her level off in the lane like she is 6-5. We get the apprentice weight here with Aram Otero, who won a race the other day. We're going. It's as simple as that. I don't see anybody running with this horse early. Maybe she tires out. I get it. She was in over her head on the turf 2 back behind Lady Cha-Cha, who's going to be in the stakes on Saturday. We have seen this turf course time and time again cater to front-running speed. The rails are out at 66 feet. I don't think I can hold my breath for a minute 40, but that's what I'm going to try to do here with Plankton.
Yeah, good angle there. I'll talk about a little bit about my 4-horse in here, Miss Holly, and you sort of tipped on. I was going back, had some good form on the turf in the past. Similar situation, comes into the race, goes back to the turf, off 2 good performances on the Tapeta here. So I'm thinking this horse, I'm going to go with the form. I like the fact that this horse has run well, 2 for 3 in the money on the turf. I knew I was going to get a little bit of a price with Bellwether in there, and it's, 6 or 8 to 1? It seems like a logical one for me. Yeah. Where does this horse sit? Behind aforementioned Plankton, hoping somebody goes up and hooks that horse, or maybe she doesn't last.
Yeah, the running line doesn't say it, but my notes say that she idled into the first turn, and then she was wider, and widest in that turf race you were referring to, and she kept running. She's hardly out of the realm of possibility here, and she's going to be a square price.
Yeah, and let's, even though we both didn't pick it, let's take a look and see what Samantha saw with this number 10. Can we do that, even though it's not on our radar right there as far as now?
Yeah, so here's the thing. The race 3 back, when this horse was 3rd for a quarter, puts her firmly in the mix here. That was at 17-1, but in her 2 subsequent starts, both on turf, she's been 18-1 and 48-1, and literally hasn't beaten a horse home. She's been beaten almost 78 lengths, dead last in both starts. Maybe we get a trainer change today, reversal.
She's got speed.
She's got some.
She's got some speed. Maybe she goes up and hey, that's why you're getting 30-1 on the horse. I see it there. So just wanted to touch on that. So that's basically how we see this 9-race card this afternoon. Of course, your selections mean more to you than ours, but we try and help you out in here. But we're not done. We got the lightning round today, and we're going to start it off as we do each day when we come back. The standings, probably Jock's first, and Edgard just been out there on a tear.
Yeah, and he's set up to have another big day today. I don't know if he's at Saratoga tomorrow. I don't think he's here this weekend. So maybe everybody can catch up a little bit, but they're not catching up all the way. That's for sure, because look at that. He is 24 clear. I will say this, Ron. This is the biggest separation now between second, third, and fourth. Amicio 9 up now on Edwin Gonzalez.
You know, that in Edgard, we're sort of keeping record. We're trying to figure out because of the change of all the different meets.
Yeah.
He could break a record. I think it's 100 and I don't know what it is, but they're working on that. So he has a chance to break that one. I think this ends in the end of September, this meet. So, bottom line, it's Edgard.
So good. Always in the right spot. Always, I feel like he has a real good feel on how to read the form and knows where horses should be, and they're always right there.
If anybody's going to even get close, it's going to be MCL Jaramillo for sure.
Had a good meet.
He's had a good meet. Now, let's see the trainers here. Oh, well, let me guess. I'm going to say Safi's on top.
Well, they go hand in hand, but this is, wow, he's 41 up on Jose D'Angelo, and of course, both of those guys have been, Carlos David for that matter as well, been winning some races and up at Saratoga. Safi's got the Whitney. We'll talk about that tomorrow, and National Treasure, of course, the Preakness and Pegasus World Cup winner, and a real good Whitney tomorrow. Rohan's been on a good tear as well of late.
Well, I want to say, Jose with 32, Carlos, that was a great meets here for the summer. No one's going to catch Safi. You know that he's got, but I think that they're all doing pretty well.
Well, I think that's a good point, because you look at Safi and he's doubled, everybody else, and you kind of just maybe take it for granted. You're right, though. Those guys are having really, really good meets, and they're going to continue to do that for us.
And we got some stuff going on here. We got the trackside treats. I think it's going to be on August 10th, and what it is ice cream. August 10th, so that cool off with a variety of frozen treats for all ages.
Well, I'm bummed because it was going to be tomorrow. We got to watch the weather, so it's going to be pushed to the 10th. But you know me, I like some ice cream.
You like some ice cream? It says of all ages, so that means I can get some.
No, you're involved too, right?
Yeah. As long as it says all ages. What's your best bet? You got a best bet,
Yeah,
right?
I do. It's early on in that Papiette race, and we're going to see what's going to happen here. I could be 3-5 if Papiette's not, but I'm on down the valley here on the 8 horse.
Yeah, I lost my buddy, Great Venezuela. I like that horse today. So long shot for you today?
Yeah, is it
5, race 5?
Oh yeah, that's right. Val's Gal for Boogie there at 12-1. We'll see what we get there. It's a tricky race too.
And I'm in that last with a bunch of long shots in there that could win, and Miss Holly at 8-1. So well, that's it. We're going to turn it over to the one, the only Pete Aiello with all the scratches, updates, and we'll be here throughout the afternoon trying to help you out. Good luck, everybody.